Thanks for questions about clarification about the burqa. It's astonishing how a strip of fabric can come to embody the full force of a nation's anxieties. The origins and the meaning of veiling, particularly the burqa in Islam, um, there are traditions in Judaism and Christianity, and in other religious traditions that promote the veiling of women, particularly in terms of modesty and um, and so Sarah Pochin's recent call, the call yesterday for a ban on the burqa, is thoughtless um, and uneducated. It's senseless, really. So I want to go through it. So I begin with clarification. The term burqa refers to a full body garment, including a mesh screen over the face worn by some Muslim women, notably in Afghanistan and parts of Pakistan. It's distinct from the niqab, which covers the face but leaves the eyes visible, and the hijab, a simple headscarf. And contrary to myth, the burqa is not prescribed in the Quran. The scriptural basis for modest dress in Islam refers more generally to women drawing their garments around them and not displaying adornments. And over centuries, various cultural expressions of this modesty have emerged, the burqa being one, often shaped more by custom, class, and colonial legacy than by revelation. Veiling is not uniquely Islamic. In ancient Judaism, veils signified piety and status. Rebecca veils herself before meeting Isaac. Married Jewish women, especially in Orthodox communities, often cover their hair today. And early Christianity inherited and reinforced this norm, not only from Judaism, but also from Roman society. And St. Paul, writing to the Corinthians, insists that women cover their heads while praying for the sake of the angels. The iconography of the Virgin Mary presents not just the Virgin as a veiled figure, but as an archetype of feminine modesty, and veiled nuns in both the East and the West continue this tradition, not unlike Muslim women who wear the hijab or even the niqab today. Therefore, the veil in religious terms is not inherently oppressive. It's often a sign of devotion, chosen identity, or spiritual discipline. Indeed, to ban it universally is not a stand against patriarchy. It is paradoxically a form of patriarchal control itself. And Sarah Pochin's call to emulate France's ban is not just philosophically shallow, it's dangerously naive. The French secular principle, enshrined in the 1905 law, was intended to limit state religion, not religious people. But since 2004, the interpretation of secularism has been twisted to demand that individuals strip all religious signifiers in public institutions, most obsessively Muslim ones. And while couched as neutrality, the reality has been discrimination. And Muslim schoolgirls excluded for have found themselves excluded for long skirts, women fined for burkinis, athletes disqualified from Olympic competition. In 2023, even loose-fitting dresses were policed in schools under the farcical claim that they might be abayas. France's hijab bans in sport have no equivalent in any other European nation. This is not secularism. This is targeted, racialized intolerance under the veil of republican virtue. And this obsession with what Muslim women wear has a long colonial precedent. In French Algeria, public unveiling ceremonies were staged by the military to symbolically liberate Algerian women from Islam. The veil was not just fabric, it was political resistance, and to strip it away was to assert control over land, body, and belief. And today that colonial impulse persists, dressed up in feminist rhetoric by people like Sarah Pochin, people who mistake coercion for emancipation. Let's be clear, no woman should be forced to wear the veil. Nor should she be forced to unveil. True feminism supports autonomy. What the Pochin doctrine promotes is exclusion. Muslim women pushed out of classrooms, workplaces, and football teams. It infantilizes them, suggesting they cannot choose for themselves. and it feeds a political ecosystem of suspicion and soft authoritarianism. And what's worse, it doesn't work. Enforcement of these bans causes more division, more surveillance, more resentment. It's driven Muslims to leave France entirely, some choice of freedom, therefore. The burqa may be worn by few, but it's become a proxy battleground for many, and those calling for bans should study history, theology, and the law before weaponizing clothing. Veiling in all its forms is a personal, cultural, and spiritual matter, not one to be dictated by states or by the whims of secular fundamentalists.